I've been married for 10 years, and I've never been unfaithful to my wife. Sure, I had my chances in the past, but I never felt the need to act on them. Before we met, I'd lived a wild life. There were a lot of reckless experiences, 2 women at once, encounters with prostitutes, and situations that I later regretted. By the time I hit 35, I was completely over that life. When I met my wife, things changed. She was in charge of the apartment next to mine. She was divorced, raising a child, and absolutely beautiful. She was sharp, confident, and we instantly clicked. It didn't take long for our whirlwind romance to turn into marriage. We built a life together, had another child, and life was great. Other women didn't cross my mind, and I never even thought of straying. But things slowly began to shift. There's a saying that women have a sixth sense when it comes to detecting things like infidelity, and I started to feel it one day. It was a strange feeling, like I knew something was wrong, even without any proof. At first, I dismissed it, thinking it was just my imagination. But as time passed, I began noticing subtle changes in her. She became obsessed with her appearance. She joined a gym, lost weight, and bought new clothes, including several sets of fishnet lingerie, something she'd never worn for me. Her behavior kept changing too. She started working late more often, going out with a new group of friends, and seemed to be in a great mood every time she came home. But once inside, that happiness would quickly fade. She began comparing me to other men, saying things about how I didn't measure up anymore. Our once comfortable family evenings turned awkward, and every attempt I made to reconnect with her was met with indifference or frustration. I couldn't shake the feeling that something was going on, so I decided to do something about it. I installed a spy app on her phone and monitored her texts and calls. There was nothing suspicious, just work messages and chats with friends. But I couldn't stop worrying, so I went further. I put a voice recorder in her car for 2 weeks. I listened to hours of recordings, learning random things about her, like how she had a beautiful singing voice and was fluent in German. But still, there was nothing that pointed to infidelity. Just when I was starting to think I was being paranoid, fate intervened. During a barbecue with friends, I went to grab some charcoal from the car and noticed my wife's car had a flat tire. As I popped the trunk to get a wrench, I saw it, a second phone. My heart raced as I scrolled through it, and I found the confirmation I was dreading. Months of intimate, flirtatious messages with another man. I was livid, but I kept my calm. I didn't want to make a scene in front of everyone. Instead, I quietly processed what I'd learned. I wasn't going to ignore it. I couldn't live a lie while knowing the truth. The betrayal hurt, but I knew one thing for sure. I was going to divorce her. But before I did, I wanted revenge. It didn't take long to find out where her lover lived. One evening, while she was visiting him, I followed. I parked right next to his car, blocking it. The look on their faces when they saw me was priceless. My wife tried to get out, but I slammed the door shut before she could. As she rolled down the window and began yelling, I pulled out a can of pepper spray and sprayed it through the window. The chaos that followed was wild. They coughed, choked, and panicked, while I walked calmly back to my car and drove away. When I got home, I didn't waste time. I tore through our bedroom, grabbed all her clothes, stuffed them into garbage bags, and threw them outside. I made sure it was as loud as possible. Thankfully, the kids were with their grandmother, and they didn't have to see their father's anger. We divorced soon after, splitting everything down the middle. I signed over my share of the apartment to the kids, who stayed with her. A year has passed since then. Now we communicate civilly, and we even celebrate birthdays together. I've moved on and found a new wife, focusing on the present. The past no longer defines me.